We're back. So as I was saying, the basic premise here is this takes place like, pretty much. I mean, I guess you're doing like a timeline of like the Dead movies. I guess kind of right as like right after Night of the Living Dead, this kind of hits it up too. I mean, it's still pretty new. People don't really know what's going on exactly. Another one of the zombie movies they don't ever mention the word zombie in. So yeah, I mean, it's still kind of it's fresh. The attacks are still fresh. They're still they're just now learning like maybe we all stay out of the big cities because it's all just a death trap. And so a group of survivors hole up in a shopping mall and try to wait it out. This is the first movie that literally inspired everybody who ever said like, what would you do in case of a zombie attack? And almost everybody's answer is always like, well, I'm going to the mall. Well, it's because of this movie right here. Yes, you know what? Just brilliantly acted. I mean, you got these four guys who just, knocked it out of the park. They dominated. Their performances were just very realistic, very believable. The gore in this is excellent as well. Tom Savini is the master, as you know, and it looks brilliant here. Yes, I mean, there's not really a whole lot. I mean, I feel like I'd just be repeating stuff that you've heard from everybody else. One thing I love about this is, and I noticed it kind of like, I guess, last night when I was watching it, is the musical score, which is done by the Goblins and Dario Argento. Argento. I'm going to have to look it up. Argento. Sorry about that. Horror movie, I'm the horror fan, I'm out. Can't, don't know that. Anyways, yes, the score, I believe, it's when you watch it, it's almost over the top. Like, there's a scene, and once again, you've seen this. There's no way you haven't seen this shit yet. Like, you shouldn't even be on this channel if you pricks. There's a scene where, like, like the bikers show up. And I mentioned earlier how I always love movies, because this does show, like, the ugly side of, humanity, where, there's zombies out there, but then now you're seeing, like, the looters. And, for this one scene, it almost makes the looters, I mean, not almost, it actually does, it shows the looters as being more, villainous than the actual zombies. And, but I love the music they play, because it is over-the-top cartoony. Like, whenever, like, they're running around, they're, like, slamming pies into the zombie's face, it is so over-the-top. Like, and not just that scene, I mean, there's other scenes, too, like, the end. Once again, ruin it for you if you didn't see it, you bitches. Ken Foree's in there. He's buried it off himself. Like, he just decides, like, this is not a world he wants to live in. Fuck it. Go and take himself out. But then he realizes, you know what? Fuck this. I ain't gonna let it be that easy. And he decides he's gonna get away. So, of course, the whole time on the roof, oh, shit, the girl's name. I just watched it last night. Guys, I am so tired right now. It's ridiculous. I'm trying to think the girl's name. Sally? No, that's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You know what? Get up and kill. You'll bust my balls on it later, so definitely hit me on this one. Anyways, the girl, she's, in the fucking helicopter. She's heading up. And, of course, he fights his way through there. But the music they're playing is like this, Get 'em America style, like fucking ridiculous action-type music. Like, it is like, something you'd hear like on the A-Team, like the old TV series. I mean, it is this over, I mean, I don't know. I think it's just, but it works really well, though, because, I mean, it kind of conveys what you're feeling there. Like, when he decides he's not going to give up, he's fighting through all the zombies, and it is almost like, fucking kid him, and he does. Not only this movie, I really like, I really thought this movie, as opposed to zombie movies today, is I love the zombie makeups back then. Because they weren't, like, not everyone was, like, grotesque. Maybe it's called, they are fresh. But then again, in the remake they were fresh, but they had like this gory, messed up. Whereas in this one, like, everybody has like a shade of blue. And you know what? I think some people probably bitch about that. I like that. Like, I don't know, it just gives like this unnatural, dead fucking look. Like, I don't know, it just seems like it'd be a little more realistic to me. Like, they just lose the color in their, in their face, and it would look almost bluish before they start decaying and all that shit. Yes, dig that. Of course, the social commentary is something we want to touch on, I suppose. I think I mentioned in our Night of the Living Dead, review that, people ask him, because everybody says there's a lot of social commentary in that film, and he says it's all unintentional. Like, he did not set out, to do that. With this one, however, he did, and it does kind of, he lays it on a little thick in this one. Consumerism is like the big thing that, they touch on a lot in here. And I think that's kind of, it is kind of there, I like that, because, I mean, it is like, almost like, they get to the mall, boom, so they get there, and they're like, we got everything we need right here. And they do kind of like get a little soft there for a little bit, where they're just kind of gorging themselves, and they're just in the lap of luxury. I'm like, but you gotta remember, like, there's a fucking zombie attack outside. You know, and for a minute there, it does seem like they kind of lose interest in that. They're just kind of happy right here, and they kind of lose that killer instinct or that instinct to survive. Because fuck it, you got all the stuff you need right here. Material goods. As long as you get your material goods, hey, you're good. And I do kind of like that. I do like that a lot in here. Yes, one thing I noticed about this one too. And once again, like when I was watching, like every time I do these reviews, I watch them like that one extra time, just so now I'm watching it with like that reviewer's cap on. Like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch it and kind of analyze it. And one thing I noticed about this is, as opposed to most zombie movies now, like or any horror movie for that fact today, you know, these are all likable characters. Like the 4 people who hole up in there, they're all likable. You rarely get that. Normally, you get, like, in the remake, you had, like, the whole group, and of course you get, like, the dicks and the, the fucking, whiny people and the horror. But here, it's like you actually got, like, 4 heroes that you want to root for. Like, you don't want to see a single one of them get taken down. And I think that's rare, because especially in a horror movie today, because, like, normally you gotta get your stereotypes in there. And here, they're not. I mean, they're very complex, and, I mean, you gotta kind of credit that to George Romero's script. I mean, he fleshed them out. And of course, it's a long fucking movie, but at the same time, it does pay off because you do care. You are invested in these characters. So, that's another, definite plus, excuse me, definite plus in this one. I chugged Big Red between breaks. Now I'm burping that shit up. I'm not professional at all. Okay, I mean, of course, at this point, you guys know me, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, once again, not a whole lot I can really say that hasn't already been said to death. Like, I always hate reviewing the classics because I'm just like, I feel like I'm just kind of repeating and regurgitating shit that you guys already know. So yeah, you haven't seen it, boom, just fucking pop yourself. Now I will say this, and once again I know I'm gonna lose a lot of credit. I've been losing credit like ever since I started. I started, I was like, oh, movie Phantom in a mask. He knows his shit. He's seen everything. I haven't seen shit. The European cut to this, have not seen it. I hear great things about it. Have not seen it. So yeah. Boom, there it is. This is, in the Dead series, because everybody knows that when Night of the Living Dead was made, it broke up, it branched, if you will, into 2 series. The Return of the Living Dead series, or I should call Living Dead, and then the Dead series, which is George Romero's, which is, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Land of the Dead, Survival of the Dead, Tape of the Dead, fucking Run of the Dead. It doesn't matter. I lost track after that. Like, I watched part 5, which is Diary of the Dead, and I just quit. I was like, I'm done. Diary of the Dead was fucking horrible. Good run until then. I mean, even Land of the Dead I thought was really good. But so yeah, did make a remake? It was awesome. Also recommend it. I'll probably hit that eventually on the show too, because I really did enjoy the remake. But yeah, that's all I can say about that one. So we're going to go ahead and kick that to the side right there. Fucking watch that. All right, up next we got 2004's Saw. Oh my god, everybody just wants to like take a shit on these movies. I don't get it. Like, I don't know. Maybe the same thing happened like back in the day with the Friday the 13th. Now, I'm not, before you guys lynch me there, I am not trying to compare Saws with the Friday the 13th. I just think that, I remember Roger Ebert when the first Friday the 13th came out, he just took a big shit on it. Like, I believe actually on the video, on the show, when, him and, Siskel and Ebert was there, he drops his pants down, takes a big shit on the VHS or Betamax or what the fuck they had back then, real, and then he pulls his pants up. He didn't even wipe. I thought it was kind of gross, actually. I was like, really, Raj? You ain't gonna rock that? Anyways, pulls his pants up, says it's a big piece of shit, and throws it over to the side. And that's what everybody does with these, and I don't get it. Like, I'm just like, these are great. Now, when I say, okay, I went a little too far there. Okay, certain ones are great. The rest of them do kind of just... But this one, of the 7, is the best of the 7. Basic premise here is 2 guys wake up in a really disgusting bathroom, and they're chained to opposite pipes, and they're just trying to figure out what's going on. Now, once again, this is a newer one, so I will not try to bust balls and spoil it, but once again, this is so popular, or at least, notorious, whatever you want to call it. People pretty much know the whole story, whatever. I'll still refrain from giving out the spoilers. Okay, this movie, of course, remind me a lot of 7, and, of course, it's more, I think it has more of like a grittier, bloodier, feel than 7. And I'm not going to try to say like the story's better, because obviously it's not. I think 7's definitely better. However, you can see it got a lot from that, and of course a lot from Abominable Dr. Phibes, as I mentioned last week. Yes, when I first saw this, I was floored by it. I thought it was an interesting premise. Once again, not original, but there has been a whole lot of movies with that concept going on at the time. I was digging it. I dug the style and the look of it, because this was the one, I guess you can say, that kickstarted the whole torture porn, thing. Give me take a second to talk about torture porn for a second, if I can. I I hate that phrase. It's the most ridiculous phrase ever because it's not torture porn. I have seen torture porn. It's a little bizarre. It's just, you know, because to me torture porn is, you know, girls being tortured while they're being fucked. And I guess you guys too, whatever. I mean, I'm not homophobic, whatever. Dudes can fuck each other when they're doing it, whatever. Or girls can fuck dudes with strap-ons. I don't know. I mean, but that's torture porn. What's torture porn about this? They're getting tortured. That's it. Call it torture. We'll start calling it torture movies. Because torture porn makes no sense to me. I didn't even hear this until, I want to say, and it may have been out before then, but I want to say around the time Hostel Part 2 came out, I heard Roper say something like, I don't like that, or other torture porn movies. And I'm like, wait, torture porn, what? Did I just hear that? And then it became a popular thing. And it just became associated with shit movies. And that's bullshit. I guess the way slasher kind of came out in the 80s. They're just like, this is our slasher movie. Yeah, no. Same fucking thing. So anyways, this one, I love, I'm not gonna lie, the acting is not the greatest. And it's from everybody. Like, everybody just kind of turns into this poor performance. Carrie Yules, what the fuck? Like, some of the worst lines. And everybody wants to bash the other guy, the Lee Wendell? The fucking co-writer, I don't know what his name is. It's really small print back here. I'm not going to try to stop with that. Anyways, everybody, like, I remember when that first came out, dude, they were taking big dumps of shit on this dude. And I'm like, you know, for a guy who doesn't act, I thought he did pretty good. Like, he didn't, I mean, there's a few lines, like the line where, like, he's trying to call him on the fact that, like, cause, like, you know, he knows about him. Like, you know, as the movie goes on, certain puzzle pieces are coming together. Anyways, you know, he tries, you know, Carrie Yules tried to call him on it. He's just like, you know, Adam, you know, my wife says that you know who I am. And he goes, I don't know who he delivers it pretty badly, but not as bad as half the shit that Carrie Yules is busting out, dude. Like the scene where he's just like, I'll kill you. If you hurt him, I'll kill him. And then it's like his daughter says something. He's like, honey? Dude, really? Like, it's, I don't know. And then the same voice he uses for his daughter, he uses for his wife later on. And she's just like, hey, he's like, huh, baby? I'm like, really? I don't know. But it's not bad throughout, though. I mean, I'm just mentioning a couple parts here. But it does seem like there's a lot of people who just deliver badly in this movie. Danny Glover's another one. I thought, like, his performance was just pretty weak sauce. And I kind of hate that, too. I feel like they're all kind of phoning it in because they're just like, what the fuck's Lionsgate? What the fuck's Saw? This is a shitty movie. Not knowing, probably, that would spawn, you know, the horror, you know, franchise of, you know, the early 2000s. Because, I mean, it, you know, came out in 2004, and then every single year after that, until 2010, a new movie came out. So, I mean, it is like, you know, I guess you can say it's like the definitive, you know, franchise of, you know, that first decade there. Yes, you know, I thought, like I said, the story was good. I thought the twists were good. Like, bullshit to anybody who says, and I'm being dead serious, like, I tried to see this movie, and, you know, years go by, and it spawned some shitty sequels. I talk about how the first one's like, you know, the best. Everybody's like, the twist. I knew that. I saw it coming a mile away. I'm like, no, you fucking didn't. You didn't see shit coming. Are you kidding me? You didn't see shit. Oh my God, you were in that theater shitting yourself when that last scene, that last part happened. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. You did the same thing. Don't give me that from the very beginning. You're just like, yeah, there it is. Yeah, you didn't say shit. You didn't know nothing. So suck a dick. Yeah, I'm actually talking to like 2 people, but there's been more who said, yeah, I know I've seen that like on reviews and shit, user reviews, they're like, I saw it coming, yeah. So yeah, really good creative scenes in this one. I saw this around the same time I watched Phone Booth, which is, you know, kind of weird, but you know, at that time it was kind of neat to see these movies where you had this killer who was judging you, based, you know, saying you don't appreciate life, and I watched them back to back, so I was on that kick where I was just like, to me, it's a little interesting and different, you know, view. Because, like, you know, in Abominable Dr. Fives, it was, you know, he was getting revenge. Whereas here, it's like he's just hitting random people, it seems like. Of course, later on, you know, we'll put the, man, really? I was going to knock us out in 2. No, fuck it. All right, you know, be right back. So, boom, don't go anywhere.